The stories of crisis, intervention, and resolution you'll hear tonight are real stories. They're composites of cases faced and handled by our lawyers and advocates here at the Council for Children's Rights, as told by child actors. The details, names, and other facts have been changed in order to protect the identities of the children involved. But make no mistake, children in our community deal with these problems every day. But you make things right. You give them hope. Thank you.
Children are often the most innocent victims of any type of court proceeding, intentional or unintentional victims. The Council for Children's Rights is just a leader in the services provided to children who have intersection with the criminal justice or the legal system.
We reach out to children who need somebody to stand up for them when nobody else will, somebody to speak out for them when nobody else can, to make that connection for them to their future and to bring them forward. And in that way, to make them whole and to make our community whole.
Have you ever been physically abused? I was. In a group home. A couple, actually. I bounced around from place to place, foster care to group home and back again. I was very careful about who I'd let get near me, or even touch me because sometimes they did.
I was 11 when my parents divorced. It was terrible. My dad, well, he was a mess. Couldn't keep the house clean, could hardly take out the trash, he was unemployed, he was on all sorts of medication.
It all started with a bag of oranges. I was living in hotels with my grandmother. Well, we were living in hotels. Me, my two sisters, my little brother, we moved all the time.
I got put in DSS custody by the judge in my delinquency case after I got busted for doing bad things. Shoplifting, drug possession, vandalism. This was mostly because I was having a hard time staying organized and I read things backwards. I sometimes don't know right from wrong. I guess it's mostly because I'm a teenager.
For a while, I was in a pretty good place, but the world of group homes and foster care is unpredictable. So one day, for no apparent reason, I was removed without explanation. Time to go. You're going to a new placement. Okay.
He hit me, he called me names, he did other things. The roof leaked, cockroaches everywhere, mice, rats. I ran away a couple of times, but I had nowhere else to go, so I had to keep coming back.
I've never met my mom. My dad works out of state, so my grandmother is all we got. But she has all sort of health issues and has all four of us to support on some government check that never arrives on time for us to buy groceries or pay the rent. I haven't slept in the same place for more than 2 weeks at a time.
My parents were pretty high flyers. They gave me a nice house and they bought me things, but they were never home. Deals here, business there, emailing and on the phone when I needed to talk. No, honey, I'll be gone all weekend, sorry. I had basically everything I wanted, except one thing. Them.
When I got there, I felt uncomfortable immediately. You know, I might be 16, and I've been in trouble, but I'm not stupid. I told my DSS social worker I didn't want to stay. Period.
It was getting worse the older I got. I had no privacy, I wasn't safe. I loved my dad. I wanted him to be well. But there was no way I could stay there.
My grandma tried to help us all, but she couldn't keep it together. How could she? Too many kids to take care of. So, yeah, I was arrested.
I did whatever I wanted, including heroin, actually. I didn't go for it, but it is everywhere. Anyway, getting busted like that wasn't great. My parents were having none of that. I got their attention for a minute, but it was too much of a bother. They couldn't handle me anymore. Kind of seemed like they didn't want to have me around. My own parents.
The social worker? She left me at the group home outside of the office. Outside. In December, 3 days before Christmas. I couldn't get in there to get warm, even though I didn't want to be there. I had nowhere else to go.